Hi everyone, welcome back to Novel Nomad and welcome to another Top 5 Wednesday. Now, in the excitement of Victober, which I slightly got carried away with, but it's very easy to get carried away with Victober, I forgot that it's also October. So October is very exciting for anyone who lives in North America, mainly because it's Halloween month and all the spooky, scary things or recommendations tend to happen during the month of October. Now, the topic for today is going to be my favourite magic system. Now, I'm not going to say Harry Potter, even though I love Harry Potter. I even got myself a wand, as you can see. Prompts to whoever guesses whose wand this is. It's not hard to guess considering my nickname. But I absolutely love this wand. It was such a treat to buy. But like I said, I'm not going to use Harry Potter as a magic system, even though I wish I was at Hogwarts and I wish I was studying magic as much as I wish that. Unfortunately, that is not going to be on my list because I'm sure it's going to be on many lists. So without further ado, let's start with some magic systems that I find incredibly intriguing. First, we're going to have a look at a magic system itself, and that is going to be in Michael Pryor's The Laws of Magic. Now, what is amazing about this series is that it is set in an alternate reality, World War I, so my history nerd is wonderfully satisfied. But it's also incredibly written as magic itself is in a way like physics. It has laws, it has boundaries, but it is in itself a science. And so I find that absolutely fascinating, as magic itself isn't just one mystical thing that you keep venturing and losing yourself into. It is in a way something you can study, something you can progress, and something you can challenge. So I absolutely loved Michael Pryor's series. I read it when I was in my late teens. It is definitely marketed for a younger audience, but the writing is absolutely sublime. And he's a local writer in Australia, so I highly recommend if you can get a copy of this. It is a really incredible series. Next, going even further back in my reading catalogue, and that is going to be Tamora Pierce, Wolf Speaker, or at least the Dane series. This is in part of her Tortle series, and I loved this book when I was younger, as you can probably very well see. I very rarely get my books to this condition, but I read it from a library edition, and then I loved it so much my mum bought it for me for book week, and then I continued to be obsessed with this book. It actually follows Dane, who is in fact a wild magician. She practices wild magic, or at least she doesn't know that in the first book, and Numair, her teacher, actually sees her potential and develops her magic and her skill. But also her skill, unlike Laws of Magic, it doesn't really have a container or a shape or something which is quantifiable. Her magic is boundless almost, and there's different limitations on her physicality which limits her magic in itself. But also the source of her magic is really incredible. As you read through the series, it's really great. It's very different from most other magics. At the time, wild magic is very animalistic based and to do with the nature, where other magic is more esoteric. So I think this was absolutely fantastic. Very different magic system to what I was used to reading about, but I loved it. I loved getting into that more natural, nature-based magic. Next we go into, which is probably absolutely no surprise, and that is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Now, I'm sure you're very well aware how much I love this book, but if you're not aware, this book actually features a type of magic which is interwoven within the circus itself. It's not a quantifiable something that you can just whip up. It is an experience in which is infused into the different exhibitions at the circus, and it is a magic that's caused a great rivalry between two very powerful magicians, but of course their lives are coming to an end, so they want to continue this rivalry and this battle to see who's the more superior magician into their apprentices. Well, one's his daughter and the other is his apprentice, and they're pitted against each other, but they don't know. But there comes this kind of understanding that even though they have no realization that they are playing against each other, they have a great respect for each other's magic because it's so different. and that's what I love. It's almost as if the magic is an expression of the internal, of the personal, out into the physical world, and that's what I think that makes Night Circus even more magical. It has those elements of magic realism in it, but also basing it in a society where magic is accepted. Number 4 on my list is going to be the Glamour series by Mary Robinette Kowal. Now, I absolutely love the covers. I think they're stunning. They capture this series so well, but this is again another series in which it is magic that is almost used in a Jane Austen Regency, and what makes it so much fun is that glamour is a lady's art. To use the art of glamour is to put little charms and little elements in a room to make it pleasing. So I found that weaving it into that kind of society expectations of women was absolutely fantastic. So it follows a couple as they really start to test the bounds of magic in which they know, and they really start to test different theories and structures and to weave magic in a way that they never thought possible. And I really loved it because it goes through not only their relationship and seeing how that hits lots of rocks and pitfalls, but also to see how magic can be incredibly dangerous at the same time as beautiful. So I think it's a really beautiful series, and the way it is set in the Regency is absolutely perfect. So highly recommend if you do like that little bit of magic interwoven into a historical fiction. And lastly, one of my more recent reads is going to be Naomi Novik's Uprooted. Now, the magic system in this isn't quite as quantifiable as the rest, and it is very much interwoven into the myth and folklore surrounding the story itself. But what I love about the magic in this book is the power it gives the main character. She is just taken from this person who's absolutely terrified of her life, of her existence, into being someone who's absolutely passionate and emboldened and ready to go out and face the world because she has this inherent belief and confidence in herself, and she can go into some absolutely dangerous places, and she makes such a huge impact not only in the characters and in the story, but her magical ability is absolutely beautiful. So I definitely recommend. It is a very rough retelling of Beauty and the Beast. It of course suffers from a love-hate relationship with many readers, but I love it. I absolutely adore it. I read it very slowly, and I did not have any huge expectations of a very true retelling. It is a dark, grim retelling, and I thought it was very well done. But in terms of its magic system, I thought it was perfectly woven into the setting, using many of those folklore elements, and of course inducing the folklorish figure of Baba Yaga. Alright, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. These are some very different magic books that I've just found over the years, and I haven't read that many conventional magic books. So if you know of any conventional magic systems or books that I should read, please let me know down below, because I'm doing so much fiction reading lately. I really want to get back into some fantasy. So I cannot wait to get into some more magic systems, and I cannot wait to hear all your recommendations. So I'll see you all next time. Happy reading. Bye.